And Shabbat.
Shabbat Shalom. That's our new intro. Shabbat Shalom, kids. And everyone's like, what the fuck? The champagne's been popped. The wine is flowing. So you know where we're going. We're going on a backlot tour. And I'm your tour guide, Captain Zach, as with me always is, the beans.
Or Jana.
That's fine.
Wow, you don't even care right now. You're just too excited to talk.
I'm getting ready to talk about this hardcore. As little as I can, because I don't know what to say about this.
Can you move your drink? You just like knocked it.
Oh my God. Okay, here we go.
That seems even more dangerous. Put it in front of your hand. There you go.
How far away does this have to be?
To where you're not going to knock it when you make one of your dramatic movements.
We're doing another episode of Does It Hold Up for a DCOM? And I've never seen this, so I can't tell you if this held up. My assumption is no. Absolutely not.
I haven't seen it since it came out in 1999.
We're talking about the 1999 classic Johnny Tsunami, because Susie Q wouldn't load, or no, it looked terrible. She wanted to watch Susie Q, which is starring the Pink Power Ranger from the mid-90s, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
And there was only one version on like YouTube, and it looks like someone like recorded a recording of a VHS.
Oh no, I think the recording would have been better than whatever we saw.
Bad. It was rough. I was like,
we didn't even get 5 minutes in. It's just like, God, it's hurting my eyes.
No wonder I can't see. Standard definition was terrible.
Yeah. So we changed over Johnny Tsunami. Hopefully one day we'll find Susie Q.
I don't know if that was a good move or not, though.
Our eyes didn't hurt.
That's true, I guess.
We still have our vision.
All right. This is a movie, I guess.
What is happening?
All I can say about this movie is the stakes have never been lower. This movie is like, there is almost like, there's no conflict. There's nothing happening in this movie.
You know what?
There's more drama between the parents and like the dad and this, like the grandpa, than anything else going on.
I'm going to say it wasn't that bad.
Oh, I think the acting between everyone was fine, but I was just like, there's nothing happening. There was 10 minutes left. I was like, what is this movie about? What is going to happen?
Yeah, they didn't get to the big stuff until the very end.
That wasn't even big. It was like a race down the mountain. They're like, oh, it's exactly the same as that Soul Surfer movie or whatever. What was that called? Brink, right?
Yeah.
It's the exact same ending as Brink, basically.
Soul blading or whatever.
Soul surfing?
Soul skating.
Soul skating?
Yeah.
Wait, was it Brink or Soul Skating?
The movie is called Brink, but
it's the same,
but it's like soul skating.
It's almost the same formula as that movie or any other movie.
Well, they came out at the same time.
Oh, so they're like, we gotta get them surfer crowds. It's like, this is like, you can tell the X Games were big at this point.
Yeah, they were. I mean, this is around the same time that an extremely goofy movie came out too.
Oh man,
X Games are in that.
It's the leaning top cheesa. Big issues.
You're never allowed to drink beer again.
Okay.
When we pod.
All right.
Fair.
The beer is flowing. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I felt like a blue moon. You know, I felt like a blue moon. No.
Just makes me think of
Get back on track. I'm writing this tour. Get back. Okay, this movie, if you can call it that, like seriously, there is absolutely like nothing that happens. There's like, it's a class war. Basically.
Okay, this movie...
They're calling everyone urchins that doesn't go to like the private school, and you're like, what? And they're like, yeah, we're the sky, and you're the urchins. And like even fucking Xenon was like, oh, the fucking urchins. I was like, Xenon?
I expected better as Xenon throughout this whole movie, and she really let me down.
Everyone was like, you can't hang out with the snowboarders. You're a sky. And I'm like, what is happening here? This isn't like, this is what the 90s thought like high school was? Like, I don't know what this was.
You didn't have these kind of rivals?
No, I don't think there's any rivals.
Between your local private school and your public school?
I couldn't tell you what my private schools were.
I can tell you what your private schools were.
Maybe there was rivals in like, if you were in the football clique, but like, I don't even think then like anything like this is happening.
No, I mean, I don't think we had rivals. We had rivals between schools.
They were just like just dickholes to him. Like,
but it's like more like football competition kind of rivals. Sports.
If you don't know what this movie is, it's a kid who is from Hawaii.
If you don't know what this movie is, just pause and come back here in an hour and a half.
Watch this movie. I'm going to save you the trouble. You do not need to go waste my time on this.
Are they wasting your time?
Who?
You just said you do not need to go waste my time.
You guys don't need to waste your time on this, I said.
You said my time.
You don't need to waste my time on this. That makes sense what you're saying.
That's what you said.
No, false.
Do you want to rewind it? We have it on tape.
No, we don't have any evidence. I don't know what's happening. The kid his grandpa is Johnny Tsunami. So the movie's not even about like named after the kid.
Well,
I guess he takes the mantle.
Yeah, he takes the mantle, the tsunami medal.
So his grandpa, who's Shang Tsung, I've never seen this guy as a good guy, so it's really weird seeing him as like a long-haired hippie in this movie, being like, "Hey, man, like just like let's just go with it." And you're like, "Oh, okay." So his grandpa's like this surfer, and
I don't think we need to explain the whole movie.
But like just the basis is like he goes to Hawaii. Then it's like the dad's like, "Oh, we're moving to Vermont to snow. It's a fish out of water tail." And he's got to adjust. That's it. And everyone's a dick.
Best friend Sam, who is the famous Jet Jackson. Why do you hate me? Why do you hate me?
Should I just drink in the other room? What do you want me to do?
Not be so loud?
Every time I'm going to take a sip, I'm just going to go to the other room, get up, come back. It's going to be even louder.
And all you have to do...
every time in the mic.
All you have to do is not drink in the microphone, not be noisy when you drink. Just let it roll down your throat. Don't even swallow. Just let it gently go back there.
It's so refreshing. Anyways, he learns to snow, like he tries to ski with the douche rockets because they're like, "Hey man, come on the mountain with us."
Brett.
They're like, "Hey bruh," because like this kid like has like some crazy slang too. He's like, "Yeah, bro, don't worry about it." He's trying to be nothing but nice to these kids, and they're like, "Hey, fuck you." And he's like, "Okay, well, I'm still gonna be nice to you." And they're like,
"You know what was interesting for me is, so I went to private school, and
humble brag.
I mean, the schools where I grew up are trash. Like,
oh, they were the urchins.
Yes, no, like our county.
Okay, Xenon.
Well, no, our county public school that we would have had to go to if we didn't go to private school. It's like a 3 out of 10 rating, and over 50% of the girls graduate with a child or pregnant. So.
Lucky them.
Private school, that was the best option. But I'm going to say anytime that, especially after elementary school, middle school, like, everybody there grew up together. We pretty much all started kindergarten there together. But every now and then we would get other kids that came in.
I'm assuming you flocked to them.
Yes, especially after middle school.
Because you're like, oh, thank God someone new.
Yeah, it was just like shiny new toy kind of thing.
Yeah.
And
whenever we had a new kid in elementary school, everyone would be like, "Oh, who are you?" Like, we want to know everything about you and try to befriend you. It didn't matter who you were. Like, everyone was like welcoming in like the 90s and 80s. They were like,
yeah, that's how it was at my school too. And
maybe not in high school because there was way too many people, but in elementary school, it was definitely like that.
It was even more like that in high school, even more so in high school, because like by the time high school hit, we hardly ever got in anybody new. And okay, so my school from kindergarten through 12th grade had about 500 people. And I had the largest senior class with 33 people.
This school was not small though. He was like trying to be nice, and they're like, "Hey, you want to go?"
Also, it seems like there would have been other people in that school who would have accepted him. Yeah. Because like no matter if you're in like public or private school, there's still cliques. There's still the popular kids, and there's still like. He
immediately was like, "I'm gonna try to go with the most popular kids in school." It seemed like, I guess they're like, "I'm gonna go for these guys." And like, fuck off, man. We're gonna be mean to you.
Well, I don't think he tried to go for them. I think that just happened to be the only open seat.
I don't know.
When he got to his first class, was next to them.
I don't know. It was awkward. It was, and then they took him skiing, and they like try to murder him by pushing him to the mountain when he's never skied, and then he like almost kills a bunch of people. And you're like,
the dad is the villain in this, though.
Yeah, the dad is a dickhole. Like the dad and the principal, I'd say, is kind of a dickhole too. They're all like these classist people.
They're very classist, and it's just like
they're like the poors on the other side of the mountain that do snowboarding.
The mom was good. But the mom should have been like standing up to the
she should have divorced him and gone back to Hawaii with the grandpa.
Yeah, she
should have gone back with Shang Tsung and be like, "I'm gonna go live with this hippie, man. Your son is a dick." I mean, I don't have that much to say because like there's nothing to like. What can I comment on in this movie? It did not hold up because I've never seen it.
I think it's just more. It's like a life lesson kind of movie.
It's an allegory.
Like, don't be racist. Don't be classist. Listen to your kids and empathize with them. Don't try to push your own expectations.
Learn from the older generations. The grandpa seemed like he was having a good old time.
He was.
He was just like, "I'm going to fish. I'm gonna surf.
Also, when like the dad like showed him like salaries of like or
Yeah.
earnings of like top surfers, and the number one was like around $35,000. In today's term, that's what did I say, 64,000.
Yeah.
It's like that's not bad for doing something that you love and have fun
But
doing.
he's got to be the best of the best. But that's also not including endorsements, probably.
It's probably not including
Kelly
endorsements.
Slater has his own game.
And it sounds like Johnny Tsunami is set up to be the best of the best.
Yeah, he's like in a magazine,
Yeah.
which I'm like, wait, when did that happen?
I feel like that got brushed over. I thought that was going to come into play later.
Oh. It like it had nothing to do with anything. It was just like, oh, there he is in a magazine. And you're like, okay, why is this? Why is this here?
Overall,
Also, also question: are we just going to gloss over the fact that they somehow took a military plane to Hawaii without parents, and then somehow got transportation from said airport to wherever they were on that island?
military base.
Do you know how hard that would be to get onto a military base, even if like
No, it's fine. It's fine.
and then like convince them to be like, oh, just fly me to Hawaii. They'd be like, I'm gonna call the major and see if this is cool because we're flying you to Hawaii from Vermont. That is a nonsense flight. That's like 10 hours. And then they're all just like, I guess they'll just be fine. And the grandpa's like, I'm just gonna let them do their own thing.
They were not freaking out enough about the kids being gone.
Or that
I mean, I get that it's the 90s.
or that they took a military
but-
plane to Hawaii. And no one they're like
Well, I mean, like,
I guess it's fine.
I had a dream the other night that I couldn't find Ronan, and it is still bothering me.
This guy was 15?
Yeah, but still, it's like your kid goes missing.
I mean,
Even if you know where I mean, in my dream, he had walked himself down to Publix.
unrealistic for them to
but-
get there all of a sudden and just be like, hey, we're here. I'm like, what? No. Hawaii is like a long flight. Long flight.
It would have to be like a minimum 10 hours from where they were.
Yeah. And probably you change flights on California.
Well, you also have to think that like
You land in a military base in California and then you take another
there are
what-
direct flights.
How
I'm
are they?
sure.
That I don't know. That's a tough one.
Well, military.
Would
they're not,
would you want to not stop that far and be like, oh, we're out of gas over the ocean?
Okay, do you realize that for us to get to Paris or Brussels, it's 11 hours on a plane? So nonstop.
I don't love that. But you're also over land, so you could land. Once you get past California, you're not landing anywhere.
Do you know where Europe
If
is?
if you're going to Boston,
do you know what's separating us and Europe?
yeah, but that's like the first thing you do. If you're leaving from here to there, and once you pass California, that's another 5 hours of nothing.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas when you go to Europe, you're hitting that ocean first from Atlanta.
No, you're not.
Yeah, you are.
You're actually
You go
flying.
to Boston and then going there.
No, you actually fly up to Canada.
Oh
Like,
my God. Why are we talking about the flight right now still? I'm not even talking about I'm talking about the logistics of them getting on a military flight and then getting to the right island and then getting transportation there without any money.
and you don't need money if you've snuck onto a plane.
Oh my God. No,
You don't know. Maybe they took their parents' money. You don't know that.
I hate this movie. Now I hate it.
I think it's fine.
All right, your final thoughts on this movie. This is
Not-
going to be a tight 12-minute episode.
I mean, I don't remember it very well from when I watched it as a kid.
They were say just now. I was like, that was like an hour ago we watched it.
But I think it's fine. It's better than Jumping Ship, which pains me to say about the Lawrence brothers.
I
But
don't know about that actually. There was better acting in this, I think, between the dad and the grandpa, and there was a lot more adult things happening in this than kids things, I feel like. There was a lot of relationship stuff happening.
it was a heavier decom.
From the last ones we've seen, yes. It was fine. I don't think I'd recommend it to anyone in their right mind. I think the vampire one was way better.
The vampire one was.
I think
good.
the vampire one might be my favorite so far, besides Xenon.
Xenon. Okay. As long as you
I'm
knew
not
Xenon.
looking forward to the third one just because Protozoa's not in it.
I haven't seen the third one.
You call yourself a purist,
I never
completist,
called myself either of those
a
things.
Xenon head. You called yourself a Xenon head.
I don't think I've
Anyways,
said that. in my
take
life.
us home, Beans. Drive us home.
There's a great big pretty okay tomorrow.
Shining at the end of every day.